They've come up with 2 steals so far in the first quarter.
They've got to slow down and not allow Orlando to get out of front so well.
Richard Hamilton checks into the game, along with former Maryland star Obinna Ekezie, and Michael Smith is in the action for the first time in a long time. Remember, last year he hurt his elbow and missed the final quarter of the season. But he's healthy and ready to go. Ekezie kicks it out to Chris Whitney, open for the jumper, who nails it. 3-point field goal from C. Witt, who last year had a career-high 96 three-pointers, second on the team behind Tracy Murray. McGrady pulls up. That's a little short, and there is Ekezie for the rebound. Oh, and then Ekezie not looking for the basketball as Richmond passed it to him. That's going to happen a little bit at not only the beginning of the season, but with new players like that.
Yeah, well, he saw Whitney there. He had figured the pass was for Whitney, and Whitney thought the same thing. Neither one went for the ball.
6 Washington turnover as Orlando scores again.
Those are points off of turnovers, too.
4 points for Grant Hill in the game. Whitney goes inside, lays it off to Hamilton. Hamilton has it blocked, and Ekezie takes it. He'll take the jumper and miss it. Garrity from long range.
They've got the kind of shooters that can really spread you out. Garrity, very good shooter, along with Hill and McGrady and Armstrong. You got to get out there and get a hand up.
22nd timeout taken by Leonard Hamilton as Orlando has amassed their largest lead of the game of 9 points, 28-19. Drew, John Bach, and Stan Jones. Jones came with him from Miami. Drew was an assistant with Detroit, and Johnny Bach is a long-time assistant coach in the NBA. In fact, he's been coaching altogether for 48 years. Inside, a block, and no call.
We had both Michael Smith and Ekezie up there to block that shot. Good back door.
Oh, Grant Hill with quick hands in the steal. 7th Washington turnover. Hill lays it off. That's knocked away. Comes right to Doliak. 14, make it 12 now on the shot clock. Looking inside for McGrady. Into the corner, the open jumper.
You're going to be seeing a lot more of that kind of play from Armstrong. Like you said, over the last 2 years, he's been the team's leading scorer, but now they've got some weapons. His role is going to be to set these guys up.
Magic on an 8-0 run over the last 2 minutes. Garrity with 2 3-pointers has 6 points. Hamilton open for the jumper. Got it. Rainbow shot from Rip Hamilton. And a turnover for Orlando.
And I believe they gave him a 3 there.
Well, they have 22 points up on the board, and they had 19 previous, which would mean they gave him a 3-pointer.
I saw the official raise both hands.
Yeah, they did, Phil. They gave him 3, so a 3-pointer for Richard Hamilton. As the Wizards cut it to 9 and have the ball. That's time remaining in the first quarter. Hamilton will go one-on-one. Short jumper is going to be short, and a loose ball foul is called on Michael Smith. With 2.1 seconds to go. And so Orlando will inbound the first foul in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say, fortunately, not a penalty foul.
Troy Hudson pops from midcourt, nearly hits it, and the first quarter comes to an end. So Orlando flexes its muscle and shows its talent. And after one, they lead the Wizards 31-22 from the TD Waterhouse Center. Back for quarter number 2 on HTS after these messages.
But he certainly will be missed in terms of penetration. I think his presence, if nothing else, I think in the middle will be definitely a problem.
I know one person who won't miss him. The trainer. He's got more time to take care of everybody else now.
Well, we know the season has started, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. As Charlie Ward takes it against Allen Iverson. Sprewell and Lynch. Lynch playing with the bad foot. It's Larry Johnson inside, defended by Tyrone Hill, and knocked out of bounds, and 8 seconds on the shot clock.
Philadelphia doing a nice job trying to front the post. They know if Larry Johnson gets it down there, he can create problems on the block.
Sprewell inside with the deceptive move. Ratliff with the block and knocked out of bounds. It'll be off New York, and Philadelphia will get it for the first time. So Philadelphia's offense, which at times can just amaze you with their speed, but John, is going to have to be the defense, which certainly triggers the role.
The defense certainly is significant. I think when you look at their offense, as Allen Iverson goes offensively, so goes Philadelphia. Defensively, they put pressure on, they play great defense, and they also hit the offensive boards aggressively.
Camby picks up his first foul. He is the replacement for Ewing. In fact, we talked with Jeff Van Gundy before the game. He says as far as he knows, he will go indefinitely with Camby up there.
Well, you know, I don't know if maybe they're trying to showcase Camby. I don't know. I mean, he's not a center, but he'd probably get away with playing center in the East. But as a starting center, you can see right there, Theo Ratliff, not one of the big, strong centers in the league, just went right at him, and they have to come down and double right from the get-go.
Ratliff, who already has recorded a blocked shot in tonight's game, was third in the NBA in that category. Began with Detroit, traded to Philadelphia in the Jerry Stackhouse deal. And Ratliff will get another try. Known for his offense, defense, and block shots, the name of his game. And Lynch almost had the loose ball, but Ward comes up with it. Ward was stellar in the playoffs a season ago.
Well, I think he was extremely effective, and he's a person, I think, who will miss the fact that the presence of Patrick defensively, once he gambles and somebody penetrates, Patrick is there.
Ratliff picks up the foul.
Right, and this is what they do without Patrick right here. The middle is more open. They're more set up for penetration because they don't have a player on the post. And Camby just trails. He runs from the three-point line and follows the guard in for the basket. That's the foul on Ratliff.
Of course, a lot of people point to Camby's health or their lack of. He hasn't played in more than 63 games in any of his seasons.
And he won't if he continues to play center. He's more of a small forward or a power forward trying to play center.
Knicks with an early 1-point lead with just seconds gone here in the first quarter. Opening night of the NBA. 55th season. Here's Eric Snow, who was hurt in the playoffs a season ago. Iverson missing from outside with Camby collecting the loose ball.
Well, and that's what Camby is very good at, particularly coming from the weak side. Weak side offensive rebound. I think he's a weak side defensive rebounder also.
Rebounding a problem with the New York Knicks, especially on the offensive side. Saved there by Ward and thrown out of bounds. Right to Danny Ainge. And Danny, your hand.
I want to shoot. I want to shoot, though.
Probably one of the few passes, that he ever passed back to someone rather than shooting.
Right.
I was a little out of my range, just barely.
Oh, I didn't know that you had a range. No limitations.
Some moments ago, look at Jeff Van Gundy. He's taken the Knicks to second round of the playoffs 5 consecutive years. Inside for Hill. He's played for 3 teams in his career, and corkscrewing over Johnson. And Larry picks it up at the other end. Philly back there on defense in a hurry. Ward against Iverson. Snow may have knocked it away, and out of bounds, but off of Philadelphia. There you take a look at Larry Brown, 59 years of age, starting his 4th season as the head coach. Signed a new contract last March, so he'll be there for a while. And for him, that's not easy to say. He's jumped all over the place, college and pro. Sprewell with Ratliff right in his face may have altered the shot.
Well, you know, Sprewell wants to get to the hole, but they've backed off him, and they want New York to try to beat him from the outside, particularly Sprewell. They don't want Rice and Houston shooting.
Rare offense from Ratliff.
Well, and the Sixers realize the fact that you don't have that bulk presence in the middle. They've come down several times and punched that thing inside and tried to go over the top and to try to dominate inside on this team.
Houston inside. And a foul or knocked out of bounds. Just knocked out of play, 10 seconds on the clock.
Well, and this is also good strategy. You see Camby tries to come over. They want Larry Johnson guarding Ratliff because that's where they're going in the post. And Camby to be the weak side defender more than the strong side. post defender, and he just got there late and couldn't help.
Houston off the screen, pops it in. The New York Knicks take another 1-point lead.
Well, and that's going to be extremely important for the Knicks, I think, particularly this year. They've wanted the middle open, and it will be open, as Danny indicated. But in the same token, they've got to hit outside shots. Rice is on the bench now, but also Sprewell's got to be able to hit that shot as well as Houston.
Ratliff sneaking inside, double team, and they travel inside.
Yeah, but they're going inside. That's the point. I mean, they're going inside, really trying to make the Knicks prove that they can defend inside.
That'll be an ongoing season. Story.
Well, everybody will test them. I think the Knicks will make adjustments. They'll probably, as Danny indicated, put a bigger body. I like Thomas being in there for the sake of a little bit more bulk, though.
Yeah, Thomas can play some low post defense and do a much better job than what they have on the court right now. Luke Longley will be able to provide some low post defense at times as well.
Snow picks up his first foul. And already Jess Kersey is offering a warning for Larry Brown. Season's not even 3 minutes old yet, and already we have our first warning. Marcus Camby off to Charlie Ward, the Heisman Trophy football player from Florida State. Larry Johnson, the best low post scorer on this team. Double teamed inside, rejected by Ratliff. And Johnson had a hand on it, knocked away. A loose ball foul called, and it's called on Larry Johnson.
Well, the thing about Larry Johnson is right now he draws Tyrone Hill, who is the best post defender. If Patrick Ewing were on the court, he'd be defended by the second best post defender. Here the double team, he doesn't see the double team coming. It gets a little bit dark up there.
Well, it definitely does. And also, when the double team is coming, you have two guys that are much bigger than Larry in there. If Larry doesn't get you with the first fake and shoot quickly, the help comes, and he's going to be really oversized in there.
Ratliff again, uncovered and untouched, and slides in for two.
I'm telling you, Kevin, they're going inside. They are very much aware of the fact that they don't have a big presence in the middle right now.
Ratliff has scored all Philadelphia's points as Camby misses from outside. Retrieved by the electrifying Allen Iverson. Met by Ward at the other end. And Iverson will go across the lane, feed to Snow with a fake on Houston, and inside for two.
And there's another. It's wide open down the middle of the lane.
But
Marcus
I thought
Camby
you wanted
just
the
got
middle
boxed out.
open. I thought you wanted a wide
I do on offense, not on defense.
Oh, I just want to clarify that. They want the middle open. They certainly do have it open now.
It's Houston for three. That'll loosen up the middle a little bit.
Yeah, and I don't want the middle open, but that's the only way they can play because Marcus Camby can't score with his back to the basket.
Tied at 7. We have 4 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Iverson again, a rare shot early in the game, and he puts it in. He took over 25% of their shots a season ago.
That's why he's my idol right there on the court.
A surprised Allen Iverson. That's the key to the game tonight. Will be rebounds for both teams. And who's going to win that battle?
Well, Philly's usually a better rebounding team in the regular season, particularly the offense team. But in their first exhibition game, New York out-rebounded Philly 50-25.
Knicks were dead last in offensive rebounding a season ago as Houston hits his second consecutive shot. He's got 7, including a 3. And the Knicks, by the way, were 24th overall in rebounding a season ago, too.
There won't be many rebounds if he's shooting the basketball like that, I tell you that.
Iverson, another fake on Ward. Missing everything on that shot. Ratliff was chasing it. Snow ends up with it. Shot clock is down to 6. And a timeout taken by the Philadelphia 76ers and coach Larry Brown. 7:17 in the first quarter as we're tied at 9.
In fact, Orlando, one of the few teams that only has 13 players on their roster, with D. Brown, who's out for several, at least a couple of months, just having gone through surgery. But other than that, they have their 12-man roster.
Garrity picks up his second personal foul. Strickland, Parks, Hamilton, King, and Michael Smith for Washington. And Rod Strickland called for a foul. Offensive foul on Strickland, his first. Here it is.
The Rod is so strong, he's going to be able to do this and take most point guards there. Good position by Troy, a little bit of an acting job, and that got the attention of the official.
McGrady, who's been terrific so far in this game. Doliak left open and misses. Strickland wants to run.
Good pass. Oh.
Hamilton can't handle it. Both of these teams want to run desperately.
Yeah. Did everything right. Got the ball in the middle, had the lanes filled, stopped at the free throw line, bounced pass over to Hamilton. He just didn't handle it.
Another look at it.
You see him get in the middle, draw the defense, and then the bounce pass that Hamilton doesn't handle.
Back to live action. Doliak tries for the rebound, and Smith is there to clean up the mess. His 4th board of the game.
Good pass.
And a steal. Another Washington turnover. But the Magic get it right back.
Well, the Magic can't believe that McGrady was not fouled on that attempt to the basket.
Rod looks like he got hit in the eye. Oh,
he gets hit by the ball.
Right in the noggin, right in the face. And Howard steals it away and saves it in to Mitch Richmond. Richmond up ahead, stolen by Miller, and another Wizard turnover. Their 11th of the game.
And then points off the turnover.
And make it 12 turnovers for Washington. Lead back to 7. Miller fouls Hamilton. Wizards have not been able to really, Phil, get any offensive flow so far in this game.
Not in half court. When they have been successful, it's been off of either turnovers or fast break opportunities that they've converted. But the last 2 fast break opportunities, Orlando's gotten back and denied it.
Doliak comes out of the game 1 for 5 from the floor. And Bo Outlaw is back in. Bo's got a couple of personals. Richard Hamilton to the line. 77% shooter last year. Hamilton in his 2nd year from UConn. You remember the Wizards took him last season, the 7th player overall in the draft out of Connecticut, after he was named the MVP of the NCAA Championship Series in their victory over Duke. 5 points for Rip Hamilton. This guy Miller could be an excellent player for Orlando. Very highly touted rookie from Fort Worth. Oh, great. 15 points for Tracy McGrady, 6 of 11 from the floor. Lead once again 7. Nice move by Hamilton. Wide open for the jumper. Misses the short J, but look at Michael Smith. 5 rebounds. Strickland takes the open shot. Miller for 3.
Well, you look at the stats from the preseason. This guy's shooting 50% from three-point range, comes in and forces another turnover.
Hill is fouled from behind by Richmond. He'll shoot a pair.
Washington really shooting themselves in the foot with these turnovers. That's it, 13 turnovers. Ending up 11 points off those turnovers and maybe more, depending on these free throws by Hill.
Timeout on the floor with 5:20 to play in the half. In transition, in fast break point. But the turnovers have really killed Washington. And when you think about it, it was when the reserves came in that they battled back to a 5-point margin. And just like that, it's back up to 10.
Yeah, during that time, you got some good penetration, especially by Chris Whitney, that set up some of his teammates as well as score himself. But over the last 5-6 minutes, Washington has really had a hard time holding on to the basketball. Those turnovers have resulted in points at the other end for Orlando.
5 points for Grant Hill to go along with 3 rebounds and 7 assists. Gets 1 of 2, and Jahidi White back in the game, the rebound. So the lead is 11, 5 rebounds for Jahidi. And Howard has it knocked away in another Washington turnover.
Well, here's the time now where they're really going to have to start digging deep and cut down these turnovers.
basket does not count. But Orlando hustling all over the court right now.
Yeah, they just had one and then nearly two back-to-back steals. This guy here, Mike Miller, really showing some hustle. They're very high and excited on his play. And he's another one of these players that can play several positions.
Miller, the 5th overall pick by the Magic in this year's draft from the University of Florida. And you're right, they think he could be another great player. Howard in the lane. Fadeaway jumper short. McGrady the rebound. Howard 2 for 4 in the game. 8-0 run by the Magic. Hill, what a move, he draws the foul.
I mean, you look at the team now, McGrady 6'8", Miller 6'8", Grant Hill 6'8", Outlaw 6'8". The only other player, Armstrong at 6'2". But they've got players that can put the ball on the floor and make things happen. Grant Hill drawing the foul, going to the line again. There's one part of his game that could be improved, and that is free throw shooting.
Last year shot almost 80% from the line, 79.5. He broke his ankle in the playoff series against Miami, had surgery. It was the left ankle. They put 4 pins and a plate in there. He's not 100%, but he sure looks pretty good tonight. Boy, the Wizards nearly threw it away, but Strickland coming across the line gets fouled by Grant Hill. Second personal on Grant Hill.
When you've got a team, especially a team with quickness, you want to stay away from the sidelines because that presents additional problems. And you have plays like that, Hill almost stepping in and coming away with that steal. You want to try and keep the ball in the middle as much as you can where you have some options going left or right.
Strickland came into this game 3rd among active players in career assists with 6,723. Only John Stockton and Mark Jackson have more. Rod is 10th all-time in assists. Mitch Richmond wide open for the jumper and makes it. Mitch shooting well tonight, 3 of 5 from the floor, has 6 points.
Look how quickly they get the ball out and push it down court.
You've got to be alert against this Orlando team because they will run on you. Something the Wizards want to do this year as well, take advantage of Rod Strickland's talents. Hill pushes one up way short. Juwan fights for the rebound, loses it on the line, out of bounds.
But that was good hustle. He's getting down low, trying to shield off the ball, just couldn't handle it. This shot comes up a little short by Grant, and you can see he's using his body to shield off Outlaw.
Miller springs free. That's short. Bo is right there for the putback. First basket of the season for Bo Outlaw. The Wizards with another turnover. And Miller loses it.
Gotta have patience. You've got a unit in there that is willing to gamble. They anticipate well, long arms. You've got to be careful with those passes across the defense.
They'd like to see them reach their potential this year and next year as well. Howard spins in the lane, draws the foul, and scores the hoop. Leonard Hamilton begging Mark Davis and Joe Forte for an illegal defense call.
Yeah, they thought Armstrong had dropped down below the zone line, but watch this play. Juwan may have gotten away with a little bit of a hook there. Oh, Outlaw looking at the official, but Juwan has a chance to complete a three-point play.
Third personal foul on Amici. And Amici comes out with Mike Miller back in.
Armstrong still somewhat pleading his case. This young guy made a lot of things happen during the time that spell he was in there, getting on the floor for some loose ball.
6'8", 218. Juwan completes the three-point play and has 8 points in the game, 3 of 5 from the floor. He's made both free throws, has a couple of rebounds, an assist, and a personal foul. Grant Hill had 7 points so far. McGrady fouled. He'll go to the line. I think Michael Smith got him.
He or Lopez.
Foul number 34, Michael Smith.
It is on Smith, and it is the third personal.
I mean, look how they try to spread the floor. They've got 3 players that can handle it and create on their own. This time they post up McGrady down low, and he draws the foul.
McGrady played 3 years in Toronto, averaged 7 points, 9 points, and then last year 15.4 points and 6.3 rebounds. Traded to the Magic for a future first-round pick this past August and paid $93 million for the next 7 years. And if you follow the NBA, you know that all of that money is guaranteed. If he broke his leg tonight, he would make $93 million.
Well, now, I don't believe all the contracts are guaranteed.
But most of them are.
Yeah, they usually negotiate that.
Unlike football, where very few of them are, and that's why they pay those guys the big bonus money up front. Gerard King is pushed inside. Richmond takes the long jumper and hits a three-pointer. Mitch Richmond has been deadly from the field. 4 of 6. He's got 9 points. McGrady is fouled by Felipe Lopez.
Washington has limited Orlando to offensive rebounds, but here they fail to do that. McGrady getting his own missed shot and drawing the foul on the second attempt.
Tracy McGrady did not play college basketball. Went to Mount Zion Academy High School in Durham, North Carolina, and that is where he was tabbed by the Toronto Raptors. This year, the Magic team adding McGrady, Grant Hill, D. Brown, Andrew DeClerc, Troy Hudson, and Don Reed, the former Wizard, finished out the season in Washington last year. Whitney, nice pass to Howard. Lost the ball, it was tipped away and taken by McGrady. Miller open from the wing. 4 rebounds for Juwan Howard. Richmond looking to push the ball up the court. Does. Goes inside, and the shot is short. Howard slapped away. Right to King, who lays it off the glass and in. Less than a minute to play in the first half. Wizards have cut it to 7. Trailed by as many as 15 in this half. Lopez all over Grant Hill. Good defense. McGrady, quick turnaround. No good. Howard is there for another board, his 5th. Washington can cut it to 5 or perhaps 4. Whitney
trying to get them to get the shot off quickly so they can get 2 possessions, and they do.
Lopez hits the basket for Felipe Lopez. 4 points. The Wizards have indeed cut it to 5 points, and a 20-second timeout taken by Doc Rivers. They've cut it to 5. Very close to a 5-second inbound violation.
I think it's important for morale-wise to make sure they don't allow this team to score before this half.
1 second difference on the shot and game clocks. They kick it out to Garrity for the open jumper, and he misses. Lopez has it knocked away. Takes it back. And that will be the end of the first half. So the Wizards, after trailing by as many as 15, come back and cut the Magic lead to 5 at the break, and that's a good sign. So Leonard Hamilton coaches his first half of regular season basketball, and the Wizards trail the Magic by 5. Halftime activities coming up from Orlando after these words.
We begin the second quarter. Newly signed Vernon Maxwell to McKee to Iverson. Driving on Houston, flipping it inside to Ratliff, who scored the game's first 5 for the 76ers. And a steal. It's Sprewell, the 4th Philadelphia turnover. Sprewell, Childs, Rice remains in the game. Houston and Kurt Thomas for the New York Knicks. They're trailed by as many as 5, trailed by 3, trending inside Childs. The Knicks are only shooting 30%. Philadelphia shooting 53% from the floor. Anderson accelerates and can't get it. Nice defense by Kurt Thomas.
Great defense from the weak side on Thomas. When Allen gets the ball, they're just flooding the paint, trying to make him shoot it outside.
Childs the miss. Tony Kukoc in for the first time tonight, but fumbles it away with Ratliff, Maxwell, McKee, and Allen Iverson.
Well, Allen got hit in the head there, and he stopped on the play, which he should have continued to play, but he did get fouled. And that was the thing that Danny was saying earlier, that he takes a lot of hits because of his quickness and because of how much he has the ball that are not called.
Iverson is 2 of 9. A miss by Houston. Kukoc is in. He is the X factor for the 76ers, much like Rice, who guards him right now, is the X factor for the New York Knicks. And Kukoc holding onto the ball, and holding on to him was Rice, who picks up a foul. You see the shooting from the field, the rebounding story in the blocks, and rebounding will be a critical story as the night goes on for both ball clubs.
Oh, rebounding is huge in this game, but I'll tell you what, you know, I feel bad for Allen Iverson right now. He's working hard. He's going to the hole. He's getting hammered, and they're calling fouls from body checking out 20 feet from the basket and hand checking and all that kind of stuff.
Well, because of the quickness in which he plays, he puts himself in a position to be fouled an awful lot, and the official really doesn't see all of them sometimes.
Vernon Maxwell from outside missing the 3, Danny.
I thought the eye was quicker than the hand.
Get it right.
Here comes Childs. Off to Houston, picked up by Maxwell, 35 years of age, second stint with Philadelphia. Houston pops and misses in a foul. And it's on the very interesting Vernon Maxwell with ice on that aforementioned right knee that we found early in that first quarter. He played with it, but now the ice is right there. And tell me about Vernon Maxwell. 1-year deal, 13 points is what he averages per game in his career. But a lot of people might say, why Maxwell?
Because he has no fear, and there's not a lot of guards out there. That Vernon Maxwell, if he has the right attitude and comes in, he can play. And he's had some great success in this league. He's in great shape, always takes care of his body, and you know, it's a non-guaranteed contract, so there's no risk. If he's out of line, see you later.
He played for Larry Brown before as a rookie with San Antonio, and Johnny was with Seattle last year, but remember, got in that fight with Gary Payton in the locker room, and they quickly ditched him when the playoffs came around.
Well, we don't want to remember that. But what we do want to remember is the fact that he's a great outside shooter, and with a guy like Allen Iverson, if he can get going and Iverson can penetrate, draw the defense, and pitch it out to him, he's a great addition to the team.
Childs picks up the foul. Iverson with the sore knee, and ice on it awaits. As you take a look at Maxwell, talk about his outside shooting, a 2-time three-point shooting champion in the NBA. Wheeling around is Snow. McKee with the deceptive move on Sprewell, and he pops it in again from outside. Second long-distance shot by McKee.
Well, McKee is an excellent shooter, and he's had some great success when Iverson's out of the game in the past. He really looks to play basketball the way it's supposed to be played. Plays good defense, shares the ball, and takes the open shots when they're there.
New York without a field goal for 4+ minutes. The shot clock is down to 6. Rice trying to create. One guy called illegal defense, another guy called the foul, and they're going to call the foul on McKee, and that's the second on him as we send it over to Craig Smith.
So he is banged up, but he's back out there again.
This is the first game of the season, John.
Well, it's the first game, but it doesn't matter. He'll end up getting hurt, but he still will play. A lot of guys get hurt, and they're out there icing. They don't want to practice, don't want to play, don't want to do anything. But regardless of what happens to him in his weight, he wants to get out there.
Kurt Thomas over Ratliff converts. The 76ers on top by 2, 28-26.
Very impressive low post move. Matter of fact, the Knicks need that so bad, some low post presence. And he has the ability to do that on occasion.
Childs another foul, and that is his second of the game.
The thing I like about him is look how much energy he has in getting the post. He's fighting for it. His eyes are all wide. He wants the ball down there, and he wants the opportunity to score. And if he keeps finishing like that, he'll get a lot more touches.
Well, particularly because they've been using that spread offense and trying to get their easy baskets off of penetration as opposed to post up.
Kukoc in there, sets a screen. Iverson works around that. Snow dishing off to McKee. Shot clock at 2. Snow has to fire over Houston. Good! They can't miss from outside. Over 55% shooting from the field. And Snow has put in 9 so far for the Philadelphia 76ers.
He's such a good basketball player. If he shoots that outside shot with that kind of consistency, that's going to make this team.
Who loves Stevie Francis, but Minnesota has been a big preseason story. And with Joe Smith still out there dangling as a free agent, a lot of teams are thinking that he may end up with New York, maybe Philadelphia, maybe Miami.
Maybe L.A.
Maybe
a lot
LA.
of teams would love to have Joe Smith, but I still think that Joe's going to end up in Minnesota.
I think he just piles on to David Stern, who takes even a worse look at the situation than he does. As you see the field goal story, Philly almost lapping New York. 62% shooting by the 76ers. And here's Larry Johnson. And leaping above the fray was Allen Houston. They need him to score.
Well, not only need him, I love his attitude. He's aggressive with it. He's playing with confidence, and he's shooting the ball when he has his shots. He can't be concerned about if he's missing. Somebody's got to take a leap. It's a great pass.
Oh, that was a beauty. That baby had some serious gas on it inside to Ratliff.
And it was a good catch. I don't think Ratliff was expecting it. It came kind of fast. Allen Iverson being very unselfish tonight, penetrating and kicking on occasion.
And look how good they are. With that unselfish attitude and relieving some of the scoring burden off of Allen.
Well, and defensively, I've been extremely impressed with the 76ers activity defensively, because then they can get out and run, and they really are playing quick today.
Kukoc has been great. Iverson for 3. Rebound offensively. Lynch saving it and feeding to Maxwell. They'll reset the shot clock and reload the scheme.
It's interesting to see how Iverson and Maxwell will play with each other also.
Maxwell, Iverson, good point. Yeah, here comes Kukoc. He's had a nice rapport with Iverson tonight, and from behind, Tony is jarred. And a foul is called on the play. Sprewell picks up his first of the game.
Right here, Iverson comes off, goes up for the jumper, freezes the whole defense right there, almost knocks over Ratliff. Great catch, good finish. Easy baskets inside all night for Philly in this first half.
Take a look at Tony Kukoc, 6.5 years with the Chicago Bulls. 3-time European Player of the Year. And Larry Brown is adamant that this guy can help this team. And he can if he does the same things he did in Chicago.
Well, let's see how they respond now. Now they have Sprewell guarding him, where they can't beat him off the dribble, can't get the open shots. They're going to try to post up. And then New York will double team him and then see if they can be as effective against the double team.
But the tough thing about double teaming is he's such a good passer. And if you double team a guy that's a good passer, he almost serves the same role as your point guard. He finds the open person and they get easy shots.
Let's see what kind of passer he is, because he's been getting passed to this second quarter. And he's guarding Sprewell, who shoots and jives and misses the shot. And here comes Maxwell, and Philly has numbers with Maxwell flying inside. Looking to dish, and a charge called on Vernon Maxwell. That's the third foul on Mad Max. And coming up, the AT&T halftime report from Atlanta with Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet, Peter Vesey, and Charles Barkley. Busy night in the NBA, and this is the opening night of the 55th season of the National Basketball Association. It's Houston over Iverson, off on his shot, and the rebound by Theo Ratliff.
Well, the Knicks really don't have a post-up player in there. You can extend your defense.
Wasn't that beautiful? Wasn't that absolutely
no post-up player on defense either.
He's so quick. He just explodes to the basket. Charlie Ward did a good job of anticipating the move, but Allen just kept going and was persistent to beating baseline.
You usually think of the New York Knicks as one of the most disciplined defensive teams in the NBA. Hamby going against Ratliff, and then finally Larry Johnson puts it back up and in.
Kevin, I don't think it's a question of them not being disciplined as much as the fact that you don't have that physical presence in the middle. That covers a lot of mistakes. The perimeter people can gamble, they can rotate, they can do a lot of things. But now when you penetrate, it's not anybody in the back that's a presence, and they have to get accustomed to that. Van Gundy said that. That's an adjustment they're going to have to make.
Yes, when they front the post, the weak side help coming over is guys that are 6'4", 6'5". That's not good enough size to help against most players, most of the front line players in this league.
Eric Strickland is getting ready to come in. Charlie Ward will take a break to the bench as we head to halftime with 29 seconds to play here in the first half. And Kurt Thomas comes back in for Camby. So it's Johnson, Strickland, who comes from the Dallas Mavericks, Thomas, Houston, and Sprewell. With Larry Johnson 13 pounds lighter at the free throw line for New York. Rebound by Ratliff. Over 60% shooting for Philadelphia from the field. Under 38% shooting by the New York Knicks. Iverson picked up by Thomas. Trapped by Houston. Shot clock at 7. Kukoc guarded by Sprewell. Gets by him. Feeds, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Houston. Seconds remaining. The drive by Iverson. Inside in the miss. Rebound off the fingertips of McKee. That takes us to halftime. An impressive first half by the Philadelphia 76ers. Tony Kukoc scored 13 points coming off Larry Brown's bench, all in the second quarter. As we send it over to Craig Sager.
Well, Allen Iverson, captain, you got 51 points to the team. You haven't had to carry the load. Why have you guys been so effective?
I think everybody's contributing on both ends of the court. And I'm trying to give a constructive effort at the defensive ends, not try to work so hard on the offense end, let some of my guys play. Tony Kukoc stepping up big along with the other guys. I'm struggling with my shot, but I take a win however we can get it.
They've been banging you around. How's your health?
I'm great. You know, that's part of the game. I love that part of the game.
All right, thanks a lot.
I have none. I wish bad things upon them. They don't have any big guys can score offensively, not one. All their scorers are outside guys, and they're wide open down the middle, and it's good that's happening to them.
Charles, what did New York do to Patrick Ewing?
Well, you know what, you guys in the media are making me laugh sometimes.
Hey, you're in the media now.
Yeah, but at least I'm going to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Every time a player, you know what, it's funny. Every time a player gets traded, they say it's business. Every time a player takes a large sum of money to go to another team, they say we unlawed.
Stay on the
I love it.
subject.
I love the way they talk out of both sides of their mouth.
Charles, stay on the subject. Back to the subject. What did they do to him? He asked to be traded.
After they tried to trade him.
No,
he was in limbo. Not true.
Charles, you got to do your homework.
I did my homework.
He asked to be traded
after
initially. He gave him 7 or 8 teams to go to.
No, he didn't. That's not what happened.
Yes, he did,
That's not what happened. They tried to trade him. It didn't go through. He couldn't play there. Same situation happened to me in Phoenix.
You're wrong,
Hey, you know what? I had nothing good to say about
and
the
it's not going to be the last time he's wrong, but you are absolutely
I could probably
wrong.
be wrong tomorrow.
Now, I'm not saying that he didn't give them an excuse. They were looking for an excuse to trade him. And when he said he wanted to be traded, he wanted them to say, no, we want you. And they didn't do that.
They should have did it tonight.
Well, I'm not saying they shouldn't have done that, Charles.
Don't you think he deserved more respect?
I think management gave him the respect, maybe too much respect, because in the last year or two, he was not communicating.
The best player ever played for your organization.
Charles, I'm not saying they should have traded him, but he wanted out, and he gave management the out.
I remember Keem Olajuwon at one time wanted out of Houston, and Les Alexander, not Charlie Thomas, who was the owner at the time before Les Alexander, sat on a plane with him for about an hour and a half, and they talked and they cut their differences going, and then we got 2 championships. So the thing is, if he's your best player, you should come over him.
Somebody should have sat down with him, but they didn't want him. You're right. They did not want him.
And that was wrong.
But he wanted out,
They were better with Patrick Ewing, plain and simple.
I agree with that.
And we agree.
And tonight, yeah, you're right, you do. Without Patrick Ewing, the Knicks trail by 10. When we come back, we'll look ahead to Game 2 of our TBS doubleheader, the Lakers and the Blazers. If you're just joining us, Allen Iverson has 12 points in the first half. Oh, this is spooky on our Halloween doubleheader. Feeding Theo Ratliff here. Philadelphia up 51 to 41.
Charles, you should be dressing up as somebody who won something on Halloween.
The AT&T halftime report.
Looking down low for King. Now they get it to Gerard. He has to back out of there with 8 on the shot clock. And he lost his dribble. Now Richmond. Mitch goes baseline, under traffic, throws one up, can't get it to fall. And the Wizards turn the ball over. Garrity works free and misses again.
They are getting some good looks, especially in transition, but they've really lost their shooting touch right now.
Now shooting 42% for the game. They've been much higher.
2 minutes. I said 2 minutes remaining in the quarter.
Akizi drives inside. Short jumper, can't get it to fall.
We've been stuck on 66 for some time now.
The Wizards cannot waste opportunities against this team. Akese commits the foul on Amici. We'll see if they give him 2.
Yeah, I think they will. On both sides, going way down. That's his first basket this half, Steve. He's been very quiet. And a lot of that due to some good defense, team defense, especially with Felipe Lopez. But this time he breaks the defense down, makes a very difficult off-balance shot, and has a chance for the three-point play.
Brady completes the three-point play. Has 21 points. And the Wizards with a bad pass and another turnover. Blocked from behind, knocked out of bounds, given back to Orlando.
Well, the team that's not shooting well, you really don't want to give them the ball back, especially in transition mode. That's where this team has been most effective most of the night.
20 Washington turnovers in the game so far. Team record is 35. 30 seconds to play in the third period. Armstrong pops. You hear the Wizard coaches yelling one shot. Shot clock is off. King takes the jumper and hits it. Big basket from Gerard King with 3.2 seconds to go. McGrady spots, fires, and comes up short. Heck of a third quarter by this Washington team. They're still in this game with a chance to claim victory with 1 quarter to play in regulation from Orlando. After 3, the Magic 71, the Wizards 68. A perplexed look from Glenn Rivers.
Is that who the technical is?
I'm not sure, but it was definitely on somebody on the bench. Mitch Richmond shoots the tee. Mitch last year was 9th in the NBA in free throw shooting at 88%. I think it was called on Johnny Davis, one of the Magic assistant coaches, who coaches along with Dave Wohl and Paul Pressey. The Wizards get the tee and the ball back. 6 on the shot clock. Strickland to Richmond. Back to Rod, and they didn't get it off in time.
That's a very damaging turnover there. You get the technical and you get the possession of the ball. You make the free throw and get possession of the ball back and don't even get the shot off. That hurts.
24th turnover of the game for the Wizards. Washington will play 4 games in 5 nights. Charlotte tomorrow. They'll get a night off Thursday, then play the Knicks Friday and Toronto Saturday. The Wizards have just been called for their 3rd illegal defense, and this will be another technical foul.
Well, in this situation, it seems like Doc Rivers is trying to force Washington to match up to his height inside, and they've gotten called for their 3rd illegal defense. That time Mike Smith trying to step over before the pass is made to help out down low.
Miller misses the free shot. And Orlando gets the ball back with 6:58 to play.
Well, watch Mike Smith. He's right there in the lane, the bottom part of your screen, does not clear out of that lane to stay with his man, and that's an illegal defense.
Yeah, you've got to cover someone, and they look for that guy down low in the paint.
Well, it's very much like offensively, 3 seconds in the key, you cannot stay in that key. In fact, you can't even be there.
Strickland with a great steal. Rod goes all the way and is fouled. But what a play by Strickland, anticipating on the other end, coming up with a steal, going the length of the...
Trying to draw the contact on Lopez, but still was off balance, but still was able to get the shot to go down. And did you finish the quote now?
Basically, she has no choice, is what it was. Strickland fighting, gets it up with the left hand and in.
Another name. Yes, she has been sure. That's a charge on Miller, but they had 4 players surrounding Tracy McGrady. That's how dangerous Washington feels he is, but that enabled the rest of the players to be in position to get the offensive rebound. The long rebound goes out. Fortunately for Washington, Miller gets himself up in the air, and Michael Smith gets good position, draws the contact, and it's a turnover for Orlando.
9-point lead, but they're not ready to play just yet. By the way, did we mention that the 32 points is a career high for Tracy McGrady?
No, we did.
Previous high was 28 points last April against Detroit, ironically enough.
So keep in mind, he was not a starter with Toronto. Now there probably will be many nights like this, and maybe a few more points to boot.
And the Wizards turn it over again. Garrity open, tipped away, taken by Michael Smith. Here's Strickland. Rod's pass knocked out of bounds. If you were to ask me right now, what's the difference between this Washington team this year and what we saw much of last season, I'd say right now there's no question that it's hustle, determination, aggressiveness. I mean, they're a much more aggressive and determined basketball team.
Yeah, they've done a much better job out rebounding Orlando by 7.
I mean, the turnovers notwithstanding, they've made too many turnovers, and they're going to have to cut down on that. But in terms of competing, which is what Michael Jordan wants them to do, they are competing against one of the best teams in basketball right now and have given themselves a chance to win on occasion here tonight. McGrady. Armstrong lost the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, and there were several times in both the second and the third quarter where they could have kind of put their heads down, but they hung in there and got that lead down to 5 points and eventually tied this game up. But offensively, they've struggled.
The lead now is 9 with 3:39 to play and a timeout on the floor.
It looks like he really put some in the weight room. Really defined shoulders and arms.
Now he drives, fadeaway jumper is good. 12 points, 9 rebounds for Howard, 3 assists. Wizards have cut it to 6 with 3:10 to play in regulation. Boy, Miller nearly traveled. Good defense. Lopez on McGrady. Misses. Michael Smith is there. 10 rebounds for the Animal. Richmond for 3. A little bit off the mark. Howard trying to get the rebound, knocked out of bounds. It'll be Wizards ball.
Plenty of time, only down by 6.
Richmond again. That one's a little too strong. Tipped up into the air, and this time taken by Amici. That was a big possession for Washington. This will be a big possession for Orlando. Garrity. Score the basket. He hits a 3-point play, and he'll go to the
getting used to hitting big shots. You mentioned the game in Washington where he hit the game winner. Didn't mention that there were 2 other games against Utah and Vancouver that he also hit the game-winning shot. Here, a big one, 3-point and possible. It is.
How do you like that? A 4-point play by Pat Garrity. It was Garrity, who Phil mentioned, hit the buzzer beater at MCI Center on March 6th last year to knock off the Wizards, and now Washington with another turnover. 27 turnovers in the game for the Wizards. So it's not lack of effort. It's just lack of accuracy here in this opening game for Washington.
And I think the matchup that Doc Rivers put in with the 3 big forwards hurt Washington. They had a hard time trying to match up.
Michael Smith will be called for a block on Darrell Armstrong. And on Smith is more personal.
So going back to the matchup problems, though, I mean, they had 3 players that could handle the ball with 6'8", and it was very difficult to match up. They were posting up players, forcing Washington to double team and rotate their defense. And that gave opportunity for some open shots and also some offensive rebounds.
Rip Hamilton replaces Felipe Lopez. Armstrong 2 seasons ago became the first player in NBA history to win both the Most Improved Player and the Sixth Man Award in the same season.
Brady.
Smith drives, can't get it to fall, and that's a big miss and a big Magic rebound, and that may do it. Magic by 12. With 1:30 to play in regulation, and very quickly Lopez will get back into the game. He's played 28 minutes tonight. And Leonard Hamilton wants time. Missed the playoffs last year with a record of 41-41. Hamilton, Richmond, Howard, Richmond, and Lopez. Into the lane for Juwan. Turns and has it blocked away. Great pass to Outlaw. He's fouled by Howard. That was a little frustration by Juwan, who thought he was fouled last trip down the court.
Shot, wouldn't you say?
Unorthodox would be the understatement of Halloween. But he makes 1 of 2. It's not how, it's how many. Felipe Lopez. Whitney. Running the offense. Hamilton drives all the way, up and in. Nice move by the second-year star from UConn. 7 points for Rip Hamilton. And
we'll be interested in watching Hamilton this year develop. He finished off his rookie season last year in a strong mode. Another one spent a lot of time in the offseason working out to see how that pays off and how he does his second year.
Brady misses, tipped up. Hamilton pushes it up the floor. This will count if it goes. It does not. And Leonard Hamilton's debut as the Washington head coach comes up just a little bit short. Good game, though, and a great effort by this team that trailed by 15, tied the game at 66, and wind up on the short end of the stick, 97-86 in their season opener. We'll come back to talk about it after this. Timeout.
Murray hearing it from the crowd. Chance to give the Cavs a 3-point lead. He missed it. Oh, my Rebounded by Weatherspoon. And a foul call. Long rebounds have done in the Nets here tonight. A couple of opportunities. If they could just pick up the carom. They could not.
You think of that missed jump shot that fell to the floor. That one, the squeeze side. Newman on that particular side, it's a tough, anytime it goes longer than the inside man, you can just see no squeeze on this side. Johnny was on that side. A very, very tough situation.
With 11.5 remaining on the clock, the reaction from Byron Scott. Clarence Weatherspoon will shoot 2. He is 4 of 4 from the line tonight. Weatherspoon connects on the first. One more, and it's a 2-possession game.
This one makes it tough. They're going to call timeout on the make.
Big free throw. He hits. And everything changes in this game after a long rebound that the Cavaliers were able to come up with. A questionable
17 for the hometown Knicks.
It's terrible offense. I mean, every time down the court, whether it's in transition or half court, other than that high pick and roll they've been running lately in the game, it's just isolation, and they have a very difficult time. Philadelphia is doing an awesome job at not allowing the entry pass into the offense.
Well, it's by really putting pressure on the ball. They're defending the pass well. They're really out there. And the Knicks really have to respond to adversity. This is the thing that they've got to do, particularly now. You don't have a person that you can go and just throw the ball into the middle and get you some easy baskets maybe, or at least easy opportunity.
Their chance of Patrick Ewing cascading down. And the drive inside will drop. It may be Halloween, but they're thinking about their hero. 2 seconds left. Iverson knocks down a 3. He throws up a bomb, and down it goes. And it's been all Philadelphia with incredible defense, but offensive displays like that by Iverson. 11 in the third quarter, 23 for the game, and knocking down a 3 right between the eyes.